So I feel like, there are people that come in and you might look at them and be like, oh, they haven't worked out in years or maybe ever. And you're like, there's really no judgment on that, because they get in there and they're moving their body. And I think I praise them. I'm like, you are doing such a great job, because good for you, Yeah. And then they catch the bug, because it really is. It's like,
contagious.
It's an addiction.
Yeah.
Okay. F45 is an addiction.
Yo!
Nerds. Ladies and gentlemen, on today's podcast, we have the incredible Meaghan Terzis, a true powerhouse in the fitness world and a devoted wife and mother of 2 beautiful children. With over 15 years of experience in the fitness industry, Meaghan's journey is nothing short of inspiring. As an international fitness and cover model, certified personal trainer, and a proud mother, Meaghan's dedication to promoting a healthy lifestyle goes beyond the gym. Having competed in over 10 top level fitness shows and gracing the covers of prestigious magazines like Women's Health and Fitness Australia, Oxygen Magazine, and more, she has become a symbol of strength and wellness. Meaghan has inspired many women throughout her journey, helping women live a holistic lifestyle, and is now a proud owner of 2 F45 gyms here in London, Ontario. Join us as we delve into Meaghan's journey from fitness stages to wellness advocacy and discovering the secrets to leading a healthier and more vibrant life. Meaghan, thank you so much for coming on today.
Well, thank you for having me.
Of course.
I'm excited to be here.
How have you been, though? How's your day going?
That's a loaded question. No, it's good. It's good. It's busy. I feel like I'm in this very busy stage in my life, but I look at busy as good.
Yeah.
Change is good. Has been a lot of change in my life, and good change. And I love that. I think that that's where growth happens. That's where we grow and we evolve, is when we have these big
I couldn't imagine
changes.
like how busy you are, because like we spoke a little earlier and you were able to own the 2 F45 gyms in a span of 4 months.
Yeah, it's been a very very quick process. The talk started happening in May, and then the ball started rolling in July, and we took over ownership of our first location, our West Bend location, September 1st. And then the second location we got December 22nd. So It's only been a few weeks, but it's all been a very interesting process, a learning process, but I wake up every single morning excited to do what I'm doing. And I love what I'm doing. And I feel like everything I've done in my life has really led me to this point.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm meant to be doing what I'm doing right now.
That's awesome. And like, what got you into owning a gym? Like what got you to think like that?
Yeah, because I never really looked at myself as, that wasn't something that was on my bucket list. It wasn't like, yep, own a gym. It wasn't overly there. But I would say because I'm so passionate about fitness and health, and I've been in the industry for over 15 years. I mean, I've always been someone who, even in high school, I played competitive sports. And then when high school was done, you kind of lose that team aspect, and you lose that, those competitive sports with the teams. And so I took to the gym, and I learned how to work out, and I researched. I actually bought a book because there wasn't like Instagram and all those things then. So I went and I bought this like workout book, and I kind of taught myself how to work out and how to build muscle and how to change my physique, and which got me into competing, which I had done for many years. And then everything's just kind of led this way. And it wasn't until 2018 I did my first F45 class, and I was used to going to a gym and lifting weights and programming my own programs, and like I said, I can change my physique, and I'm very disciplined, but I remember trying F45 for the first time, and I remember leaving that class almost like it whooped my ass, and it was very humbling for me to be like, I thought I was in shape.
Yeah.
And then I left that class, and I remember I was with my mom, and she's like, why would you do that to yourself? And I was like, oh my gosh, it was amazing. Like, I can't wait to go back.
Yeah.
And I joined right away, and I kind of was like, you know what, I was so used to working out a certain way that I was like, I kind of want to, they were running a challenge and I was like, I kind of want to try a challenge, a 6-week challenge where I am literally doing an F45 class 6 days a week.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to try it. I'm going to see if this system really works.
Yeah.
Does this change your body if you are doing this circuit of, resistance and cardio and hybrids? And after 6 weeks, like, I was in shape before, but after these 6 weeks, I was like, all right, there is something more to the way, there's a science behind these workouts.
Yeah.
And that for me was incredible. And so even though I continued to personal train and do online programs for people and train people in person out of my own home gym, I myself was going to F45 because what I loved about it was I could go, I didn't have to program my own program.
Yeah.
I could go and literally turn my brain off for 45 minutes because the program was done for me. And because I had tested it, I knew it worked.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was just like that. It would, F45 was my personal trainer.
Yeah.
It was my trainer. And when you look at the actual prices of personal training and you look at the cost of an F45 membership, it's really a no-brainer.
Yeah.
When you actually like dive into that. And so I actually became a coach at the F45, the one, the Masonville one that I purchased. I was a coach there because I loved it so much and I loved being part of the community because that, again, I was always on team sports growing up. And F45 really is a team atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's about community. It's about building relationships. And even, there's some members I was just talking to the other day at my West Bend location, and they're soccer players. And they're getting up there, and it's hard on our bodies when we get older, and you just can't play at that level anymore. And so one of the ladies said to me, she's like, "This is my team now." Right? And I was like, yeah, I love that.
And that's the one thing I noticed too. Like, I went probably like a month ago to try the one in Masonville. I did one class with David, and like that's the unique thing I found about it is that it is a team environment. You're working out with a bunch of other people and doing the same workouts, and like that's not like going to the gym by yourself and like lifting weights.
No.
Like you do feel like you're part of something, which is very special.
And at the end, like, as you start to know people in the class, you start kind of like cheering them on or kind of yelling at them across the room that you're watching them, and at the end you're all high-fiving, and it's just for me, that community is so important, and having the opportunity like to build a bigger community between these two gyms. So I'm now the owner of F45 London. I own both locations. I feel like it's such a strong brand and a strong name and a recognizable name. And my job is to just bring a lot of awareness to this, to London. And so I thank you guys for having me on your podcast, being able to highlight and to share how amazing I really feel it is. And it is life-changing. It's changed my life in my life in many ways. And to see people that I've known there for so many years. And like I said, I coached there. And that for me was, I loved it so much, but a part of me was like, oh, but I want more. I want to do more. And because I didn't own it, it wasn't for me to say, let's do this, and let's run this challenge this way, and let's, have a community event, or let's have a themed workout. That wasn't my call. And so having the control over that is really great. And being part of, like, I look at our coaches as we're a team. We make decisions together, and we are happy to listen to ideas that our team has. So yeah, you just wait.
Yeah.
Just wait. F45 is going to just blow up London, guys.
I love it.
100%.
And were you always an entrepreneur? Because it's one thing to love fitness, but then it's one thing to buy a business. You know what I mean? So how was that transition?
Yeah, so it's a good question. No, so I actually went to school for dental assisting and got a job in a dental office, met my husband, and then I was stay-at-home mom. I had my kids, and I had the ability to stay at home, and that was great. And at the time when your kids are little and they need, that's where I needed to be at that point in my life. I needed to be there for my kids. And when my son went to kindergarten, so he would have been like 4.
Yeah.
I was kind of like, okay, I'm ready to do something. And I was presented, I had a health scare around this time, actually a couple years before this time. And a good friend of mine presented me essential oils. And I knew nothing about essential oils, didn't know what they did, what the purpose was, nothing. And all of a sudden, she educated me on the use of essential oils, and I started using them with my kids and in my home. And again, they were just it was a life-changing moment for me, where I was like, the light bulb went off. Okay, there's more than just exercise and eating right. There's kind of this holistic lifestyle behind having a healthy lifestyle, like the products that we're putting on our body, in our body. And I just became more aware. I started just educating myself a little bit more on the chemicals that we were bringing in our home, what I was using on the kids. And these oils were a great solution. And so when it was time for my son to go to school full time, and I was like, well, I don't want to just sit at home. I need to do something. And so I didn't really want to go back to the dental office as much as I loved it. And I felt like that was my husband's thing, and I'll always be part of it, but I kind of wanted my own thing. And so my girlfriend who presented me the oil said, well, would you ever consider this as a business? I don't know, right? I'm like, network marketing, I don't know. But the cool thing with is I didn't know it was a network marketing business. It was an incredible product that worked. And the way it was sold to me was through a friend who told me how to use them. So someone I trusted. So I had such a positive experience with the whole process that I was like, if I replicate that, I can sell these oils. And so it led me into having a network marketing business. And I became one of doTERRA's top leaders in Canada. Within about 3 years. And to this day, I still have my doTERRA business. I still love and use doTERRA oils. You will always see me, if you follow me on social, you'll always see me post and promote them. I have a team that I lead. But fitness is always it's always been part of my life as well. So it's kind of been nice that the way that this has kind of integrated into my life. And then when the pandemic hit, so I had built up this business, this beautiful network marketing business, and this team and this company that I love so much. And then the pandemic hit, and things did change a little bit, because I wasn't hosting in-person oil classes anymore. Everything kind of moved online. And as amazing as being online is, people became very sick of it very quickly. And so I had to learn how to pivot. And I feel like there's been lots of moments since the pandemic that you just had to pivot. I pivoted my business online. I pivoted the way that I did things. And then I had this idea. I'm like, I feel like I can help people in other ways. I can help people through fitness. And so I started making reels on Instagram on how to work out.
And a lot of YouTube videos too, right?
I started a YouTube channel and started doing at-home workouts, all F45 inspired, by the way. And I just wanted to help people get healthier and more fit at home, because we were stuck at home. And so I launched group programs, and I went through the whole process of running an online training business, along with having my doTERRA business as well. And so that did very, very well. And it still continues to do well. I have an online recipe ebook. I have my 5-day cleanse that I run. And then I have my 6-week training program. And I find that the training program usually does well when it's a group, when it's promoted as a group, and then a ton of women will do it at the same time. So that's. And
where would you say that entrepreneurship bug comes from?
I have no idea.
Like no one in the family has done business?
My parents, they never were. They worked the 9 to 5. They had a 9 to 5 job. I don't know. I think that there's something in me that I know I'm capable. I know that I'm worthy, and I know that I can do anything I put my mind to. And that didn't just come. I think I can thank my husband, to be honest. He's really instilled in me that I can do anything. He's my biggest supporter, my biggest cheerleader, and he's always been, you can do anything. Even when it came to my essential oil business, that day my girlfriend came and talked to me. My husband was with me, and he as this is being presented, my husband, he's a numbers guy, and he's looking at it, and he looked at me and he's like, yeah, you got to do this. I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. And then I'm all in. I'm all in. I can, and I think that having that, I have had my doTERRA business for almost a decade, for almost 10 years.
Yeah. Do you think that's what allows you to be able to do all these businesses at the same time? Is that like attitude and energy that you have for it?
Absolutely. Attitude is everything. Mindset is everything. So I just have this abundant mindset that we're all worthy of success. We're all worthy of anything we put our minds to. And I think it's important for my kids to see us work, my husband being an entrepreneur as well. So I think I've learned a lot of that entrepreneurship through my husband and him having his own business and working in the business, and then learning how to be having an successful online business, and watching that grow and learning through that, and having doors shut in my face, having rejection and having amazing things happen, but having, it's kind of like these ebbs and flows that happen within your business, and it makes you stronger. The ones that are tough are going to stick it out and they're going to become successful. The ones that aren't strong or mentally strong, they'll quit, or they'll say, nah, didn't work.
Yeah.
Didn't work.
Could you pinpoint like a big obstacle that you had to overcome? Like during like your maybe like starting the F45 or buying the first F45 and then the second, like were there some major obstacles there?
I wouldn't say there's been major obstacles. I would say like it's been a really amazing transition, to be honest. I think anything new is a little bit scary. So I think I wouldn't necessarily say there's been obstacles, but there's been moments of me being kind of scared of like what's going to happen and kind of the unknown.
Yeah.
Right? Like, am I making a mistake? Am I doing it? And then I wake up and I'm like, no, this is great. And even today, like you asked me, like, how was today? It was busy, but it was so successful. Like we had some really big wins today in our business. And every day those like, and maybe it was the big wins, but like little wins, they all add up.
Yep.
And they keep moving in the right direction. And so I'm very lucky. So it's not just myself that owns these F45s. I do have a business partner. Her name is Amy. I actually met her through my doTERRA business.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of people are like, who's Amy? Because Amy's not in the fitness industry. But Amy is an incredible person, and she is a businesswoman, and she understands the business side of things, which is great because I'm like, let me be front and center. Let me be like in the classes. Let me be the energy around this, and Amy lets me be that. Yeah,
so you kind of have like
she creates that space for me.
That
to
visionary kind of integrator is you're probably like the visionary, like the face of it, and then she's the integrator, like running the back ends. Would that be correct?
100%.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah, but we're both on the same page, and we both run we basically call each other every day, just kind of filling each other in on the things that we're doing on our end. We meet every Monday to have a business strategy plan with our studio manager. She's amazing. She's such a blessing to these studios. And so we just, like I said, we got a really incredible team, and we're new into Masonville right now, and we're getting to know the coaches, and they're getting to know us. And that was my home gym before. That's where I coached out of, and that's where a lot of my community is. So I'm excited to be back in that gym and in that space, and invite people back with open arms that might have maybe left or maybe just moved on to other things and are ready to come back. So it's been, I wouldn't say there has been like massive obstacles. I think every day is kind of a new obstacle, and it's just getting up with a positive attitude and knowing that it's all right. You can get through anything. You can do it.
As an entrepreneur, there's a lot of times like where like you're just uncomfortable, but like that's the only way you really grow, right? Is like through those uncomfortable moments.
You will never grow if you're not uncomfortable. You'll never grow. Yeah, that's all part of it. That awkward, uncomfortable. And during the process of us taking over our first location over West Bend, we'd kind of really made that firm decision we were going to do it in July. And we have a summer home in Greece. And so literally 2 weeks before we decided we're going to do this, I was off to Greece. And the entire process, from lawyers to accountants to bankers and you name it, everything was done overseas. Oh, wow. And nobody knew what I was doing. Yeah. Nobody knew that this was even happening. Nobody knew that this deal was going down. And I arrived on the 1st of September from Europe, and we got the keys on the 2nd, and we made the announcement. Oh, wow. Yeah.
That's
so it was
crazy.
pretty wild.
Yeah.
And that was a really cool, that to me was a cool moment because
course.
people were like, what? Who is this person?
Yeah.
And I think the best part of this too is coming into this F45 community, which was a very well-run gym before we came in, and the community was solid and thriving. I really didn't know anybody. I didn't know the coaches. I didn't know the members. And I literally showed up and I'm like, hi, I'm Meaghan. And they were just so welcoming. And I feel so welcomed into that community. And it's been, I think that like, and just seeing the support of people too, right? When you do something like this, you really know who your support system is. You really know the people that care and that really want you to succeed. And then you kind of just eliminate the noise.
Yeah.
And you just put your head down and do the work.
Yeah.
You know, there's lots of distractions and there's lots of things that can kind of lead you to maybe not do things or maybe be scared of things because of the eyes that are watching, or it can just be scary and you just can't let that distract you. And I think that was, for me, one of the biggest things that I've had to do throughout this process is just kind of put my blinders on and focus on what's best for me and for these communities and for these gyms and for my family. I've had to really learn how to put boundaries into place with still having my online business and my husband having his business and now these two gyms. I just have to be know where I want to put my energy.
Yeah. And I was just about to ask about your energy. Like, it seems like you're very busy. Like, how do you keep a high energy running all these businesses? And like, how do you schedule your time and make sure that you're taking care of yourself?
Yeah. For me, I'm at the gym in the mornings and that to me works really well. I'm usually there until mid-afternoon and then I'm home, and I have amazing coaches that help with those evening classes. I have two busy kids that are in competitive sports and I'm running them in every which direction. My daughter's in high school, so I'm like,
that's fun.
I'm a taxi driver. And it's funny because we were just talking about high school actually previously, and you know, so it's like high school wasn't like, I feel like it wasn't that long ago, but it was. So to watch my daughter who's in grade 10, it's funny, and I'm like, I get it because I feel like I wasn't there that long ago. So I have to create space for my kids and my energy for my kids. So I really honor my time in the evening. We have a sauna, like an infrared. I take a sauna. I take an Epsom salt bath. Like I'm a very big advocate for self-care, and that we have to take care of ourselves. We have to eat right. And so I like being home in the afternoon. I cook a healthy meal, I have a healthy meal on the table. I'm able to drive the kids where they need to go or plan what needs to be planned, who needs to pick who up. If I need to be at the gym, I need to be there. I schedule weekend time for myself and my husband on weekends. We do date nights. We travel. I was just in Cabo for 11 days. During the process of buying the gym.
What's with you and traveling and buying gyms?
Yeah, we got the gym on the 22nd of December and I went to Cabo on the 30th. So yeah, it was not the best timing at all, but it's okay because I think it's important for us to show that life is important. We work hard, we play hard. And that to me has always been a big thing in my life, is travel and being able to have fun and enjoy life. So I schedule trips and I live life. So
it's really cool that you're showing that it's possible to be balanced. You know what I mean?
Life has to be balanced. Otherwise you won't have a life.
And a lot of people don't think that's a possibility for them though. You know what I mean?
100%. Or they're like, how are you leaving? How are you going? And a lot of people will say that to my husband, especially with his profession of being a dentist. A lot of people are like, how are you taking off for 6 weeks to go to Greece? Well, we're like, because we can. Who's stopping us? Like, money's money. This is your life. We've had health scares. We've had health scares in our family. And we know life is short and precious. So you have to live it. So we will take off to go to Cabo. We will go to Greece for the summer. We that is just who we are, because these are the things in life that we enjoy. And you have to, if you enjoy things in life, then you have to do them.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
Yeah, and I guess for those who don't know what F45 stands for, could you explain that? And then also, like, what fitness level do you have to be to partake in these classes?
Good questions. Okay, so F45 is functional 45. Okay, so functional training for 45 minutes. So I love this because you do not have to kill yourself in the gym for hours. And I look at this as like the best, most effective workout, especially for a busy person, whether that's a mom or a dad. Being able to get that workout in 45 minutes is huge. And I live in the Masonville area, so for me to get to the gym, it literally takes 2 minutes. Yeah. And by the time I do my workout, it's 45 minutes, and I'm home in 2 minutes. My workout, all said and done, by the time I leave and by the time I'm home, it's under an hour. Yeah. And that, to me, it's all about convenience. It's the convenience of where the gym's located, right? It's also the convenience on how to get there. That is what's going to help someone stick to a fitness routine. Mm-hmm. How convenient is it for you? Yeah. Yeah. Right. And so the 45 minutes is huge, and it's a huge selling point because people do have busy lives. Mm-hmm. I mean, I remember when I was a member at the gym, I would go and I would be like, there would be days I'd be there for hours because you make friends and you chit chat and you're not on a timer. No one's telling you got to start your set. You get distracted, and then it takes away from the gains. Right. So it's just so practical. Yeah. And it's especially if some people live busy lives. It's like, I'll say to people, just get up and go to the 6 a.m. class. You will thank me later. Yeah. It is like the best thing ever because you're home by 6:45. You can get your kids to school. You can shower, get ready, and be at work by, 7:30 or 8 o'clock. Yeah. And you've basically just done the most incredible workout, and it sets your day up for success.
For sure. Like, I remember me and him used to do Muay Thai at 5 a.m. Like, this was like probably like 6 months ago. And like, I remember coming home, like, taking a shower, getting ready. And then you're like, wow, the whole world's sleeping. And I'm still like, I'm ready to go. Like I've done so much in my morning. Right?
Oh, the best is when I go to the grocery store right after. Yeah. And then I like get my like week's worth of groceries. And I'm like, I've just accomplished more than most people accomplish in their day. Yeah. And it's only 8:30 a.m. So there's something really powerful about getting that workout in first thing in the morning. Yeah. When it comes to fitness levels, I think that F45, I know that F45 is for anyone. I've seen it. It's for any body type. It's for any age. You move at your own rate. And you'll notice in F45, there's no mirrors because there's no judgment. You walk in that door. It doesn't matter your fitness level, your age, your height, your weight, nothing. There's no judgment. You move at your pace. We have 2 trainers in the room, one depending on how big the class is, but 1 to 2 trainers will always be there to guide people. We give modifications. We will give modifications during our demo, but if we know that there is an injury or that someone can't do an exercise, there's always a coach there to help them. Yeah. So I feel like, there are people that come in and you might look at them and be like, oh, they haven't worked out in years or maybe ever. And you're like, there's really no judgment on that because they get in there and they're moving their body. And I think I praise them. I'm like, you are doing such a great job because good for you, Yeah. And then they catch the bug because it really is. It's like,
contagious.
It's an addiction. Yeah. Okay. F45 is an addiction. It really is. Like you feel so good after. Like your adrenaline is pumping. You just feel like you're on this high after doing a class. And it sets your day up for success. Yeah. It sets your week for success. And I can honestly thank these workouts for a lot of how productive I am. I'm productive because I feel good. I'm productive. I feel and I look good. And I can thank these workouts for that. These are the only workouts I do now. I used to hit the gym regularly. There might be a day every once in a while that I go up to my gym and I isolate my shoulders a little bit or glutes or something, but not too often. I can target everything within these workouts.
Did you find a lot of new people started showing up in the new year as like the New Year's resolution or?
Yeah, it's funny because when we bought these gyms, so we bought West Bend in September, and like September is kind of like January. It's like summer's over. Yeah. And all of a sudden people are like, oh, we cottaged a little bit too much this summer. We drank a little bit too much beer. And so like you get this like huge influx of people in September because of they're ready for a change. Yeah. It's like a new year for them. And then January hits and it's another influx. And it's like, so we couldn't have bought these gyms at better timings because we hit the one gym when it was September, and then we hit Masonville when it's end of December, like Christmas is ending and New Year, New You. So yeah, we have seen like actually a crazy amount of members that have come in since we took over.
Yeah.
Do you find it hard to motivate people to keep going to, or do you kind of let the program itself kind of do the work?
You know what, I personally feel that when someone comes in for a workout, so we really encourage people to do a 7-day trial because that 7-day trial is going to get that person in the door. It's going to get them to try a variety of our workouts. And that is what's going to really be the true test for somebody. It's not really me saying, you need to come back. You need to do this. At the end of the day, they're going people want, like, in order to work out, you're going to have to want to do it yourself.
Yeah.
We can only say so much, right? We can only promote and do so much, but that person has to want it. And if they want it badly enough and they come in for the 7-day trial, that 7-day trial usually sells itself. Most of the people that do that 7-day trial, and I mean, we usually will say, well, are we going to see you again? Like when are you coming in for your next class? We will kind of encourage them during that 7 days to say, like, tomorrow is a cardio day. You should check it out. Or like Saturdays are hybrid. That's such a great workout, great energy in the class. And people from there, usually that's when they decide, like, okay, I'm gonna try this for 1 month, or I'm gonna do a 3-month membership, or I'm gonna try this for 30 days. So there'll be different things that people are wanting to.
And how can someone get that free trial? Do they just walk into the gym, or is there something online they have to fill out? Or
yeah, so it's actually $35 for 7 days.
Cool.
So there is a fee to it, but when you look at like a drop-in, which is like $30, it makes sense to do a 7-day trial because it's bang for your buck, and then it gives you 7 days of 7 classes that you can try. So yeah, it's you can purchase online. People will message us through our email or through Instagram. We have 2 Instagram accounts for both locations, or I should say an account for each location.
Yeah.
So people can contact us through there if they're wanting any more information on memberships. But we usually say, like, come and try us out first.
Yeah. I love what you said earlier about no mirrors, because like that, every gym has these mirrors, you know what I mean? And you see all these people just flexing on the mirror, looking at the mirror.
Selfies.
Right? All these selfies.
Yeah.
So that was done on purpose, right?
Absolutely.
That's special. I think it's really special.
And I remember going in there and being like, where are the mirrors?
Yeah.
I can't see myself. This is weird. But yeah, that kind of what makes it special, because you're not looking at yourself. You're not looking at anybody else. You're just, all the exercises are being demoed on a screen in front of you. And so you don't, like, you literally, if you're at station 1, you like look up and there's a screen and you're copying, like, you're basically doing the movements that the person on the screen's doing.
Yeah.
And everything's timed. So then, like, it's counting you down how many seconds you have left of that set, and then it will tell you to move. And it's very, like, again, like I said, I turn my brain off. I don't have to think.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about it. I like that it's my time, and then I leave there and I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, whatever happened yesterday that was negative, it's gone.
Yeah. And you're not at home like trying to create a workout or what should I work out today? Like, you're really showing up these classes, and if you go consistently, you're hitting every body part or every sort of workout.
And
right?
you see the results when you're consistent with it, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we run challenges too, which is great. We've got one coming up February 5th. It's a 6-week challenge. We run body scans where we can actually take people's measurements and see body fat percentages, weight, and things like that. Some people get discouraged by that. But if they're looking for like a base point, we can take those scans, and at the end of the 6 weeks, we take another scan, take measurements. They have a consultation with a coach where they can, learn about or just talk about their goals. I want to lose body fat. I want to clean up my diet. And so, and we provide that support during those 6 weeks. So we ran a challenge back in October with Westband, and we had so many members participate, and we had three winners, male and 3 men and 3 women that won. And it just, again, it brings together community. Everyone's cheering everyone on. And again, that's what I love about it. And so it's a nice supportive community, because sometimes you go to the gym, you work out, but no one's really holding you accountable.
Yeah.
There's the accountability here.
Yeah, that's the most important thing, I think, is that accountability.
Mm-hmm.
Like recently, like I just posted on Instagram like a 120-day challenge with, like, you know, on my story, and then I had 25 people reach out that they wanted to join this challenge. So now I have like an Instagram group, and then like we're all just like posting our workouts in there, posting our meals, our healthy meals, and it's just like that accountability just becomes contagious.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like when you have people around you doing that, and then you see, oh, Jordan posted a nice workout and a meal, I got to go do it now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or like, don't forget to drink your water.
Yeah.
Like how many of us are dehydrated every day, right?
Yeah.
So just having those, having that accountability is huge. And then the other aspect I really love of this, and I really, really saw with West Bend, like our 715 class, for example.
Mm-hmm.
When I first started, there was a good amount of people in there. But now it just through new members joining over the months, like this class is pumping, and everyone's become friends, and everyone holds each other accountable.
Yeah.
Like they'll message me like, why weren't you in class today?
Oh, that's awesome.
Right. And I'm like, oh, sorry guys, it's full and I can't take a spot from a paying member. So I'm foregoing my workout with you today, but only because I want one of your other workout friends to work out with you today.
Yeah. Yeah.
So but it literally, it's funny how when you work out consistently with the same group, you build these friendships. And even today, like I have some really close friends from people that I met at F45 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? From like my OG days of like starting out. And I'm still really good friends with these people. They're a part of my life now. They were part of the journey.
Yeah.
Was that kind of like an amazing feeling, finally being the owner of the place you started at?
Yeah, it was kind of like it came full circle, right? And it was like, but again, it was a different community, and it was still F45, but I feel so welcomed by the community, and I feel so welcomed, and I know so much about it, and I think that you know it all kind of comes together. But yeah, it's definitely kind of like a surreal kind of feeling of like, this is really cool that I'm a business owner here in London. And what another really amazing thing that I love is that I've had a lot of local businesses reach out to me that want to partner with me, or that have even offered me services to say like, hey, you're a local business owner, we'd love to, offer you to come try this. And so it's been really cool to kind of see the community within local business owners.
Yeah.
That has been really cool for me, because that I was never part of before, as like owning, having my network marketing business. It was online.
Yeah. Not
that it wasn't like recognized, but it kind of isn't really within like the community of like the local community. So now I'm recognized as a local business owner. And so that's been cool. I've got to be in fashion shows because of me owning a 45, there's just been opportunity. There's been some really cool opportunities to partner and to work with people and to meet people. So it's been really cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And how are you instilling these values in your kids, like of being physically active and being healthy?
Yeah. I mean, monkey see, monkey do.
True.
Right? Like our kids, we are the biggest examples for our kids. We show them. Like, they don't rule our lives, we rule theirs, right? And like we have to tell them, what to do and do all these things. But when they see us, when my kids see me up in the gym, or see that I make working out a priority, that's important to them. My daughter actually, for her New Year's resolution, she said, Mondays I'm going off social media. And again, like she's not like she has Instagram, and she's got Snapchat. Like doesn't have this, she doesn't post anything. Like she doesn't do any of that stuff. But anyways, she's like, I'm going no social media on Mondays, and Wednesday I'm going to go up to the gym and I'm going to work out. Wow. I'm like, good for you.
Wow.
Yeah. So like for her to take that initiative, right? Of like, these are two things that I want to make a priority and put into effect this year. And she's been consistent with it so far. So, but yeah, I know my kids, they see it. And, my son, he's competitive swimming. We're a water polo family.
That's cool.
Oh, okay.
That's really cool.
I didn't know what water polo was until I met my husband.
Yeah.
Do you want to come to a game? Sure. All these men in Speedos. It was so awkward. I was like, what is happening? And like some of these men were like not in shape men. Right? I'm like, there's a lot of hair and things happening. So anyways, it was funny because I grew up playing soccer, and my brother played hockey, and my husband's European, and Jack loves water polo and plays water polo, and I love it. My husband coaches the Western varsity team. So water polo is a big part of our life, and my son plays, and so he's very active, and my daughter plays tennis. So yeah, like they're into sports and group activities, and I know that fitness and health will always be a part of their life.
Yeah. And one thing I learned in school is like, if you're overweight, but if you're moving and if you're fit and you're stagnant and not moving, like you're actually healthier being the overweight person that's moving, like, you know, that physical activity and not being like sedentary.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's like a very important thing that like kind of shocked me in a way, because you would think by just looking at someone you would be like, oh, this person's healthy, this person's not healthy.
Yeah.
But it's all about moving your body and being physically active.
And it's having the right conversations with our kids too. Like, introducing my kids to essential oils when they were so young. I think Jack was 2 and Evie was 5 when I brought oils into my home. My kids are so in tune with their body now, and they're not like, I need a Tylenol or Advil. Like, it's like, my tummy's sore, I need digestin. My, you know, like I have a sore an itchy throat, I need my On Guard. So they're very in tune with like what natural product they need, which is really empowering for a mom to see that they're in tune with their bodies, right? And like, we have conversations around diet and food, healthy conversations of like, what's good. Like, my daughter used to always ask, like, is this healthy? And I'm like, of course. Or she'd even ask like if something bad was healthy. I'm like, well, it's maybe not something we should eat every day, but you know what, right now this is a great meal. Like, this is a treat for us, and we're not going to eat this every day, but we're enjoying this right now. And it's about balance. You got to teach your kids about balance, right? But you don't want to scare them of sugar and, you know, processed foods, but you also want them to be very aware that every once in a while it's okay. But you can't be eating, you know, waffles for breakfast every morning with sugar, right? Like, you got to have that balance.
And they're really gonna, like, as they grow older, they're gonna really see the value of that being installed so young. You know what I mean? Because once you get old, like you know, you get lost in life.
They don't see it now.
No,
they have no idea. They think mommy's crazy. Like, you work out, like they think I'm like nuts sometimes. But I know that they will appreciate and they will learn, and it's all part of who they're going to become.
Yeah. So my wife actually wanted me to ask you this question. Like, after like giving birth like to your children, like, was it hard for you to get back into shape? Was that something that you found was very like a struggle?
Yeah. So let's talk about that. That was one thing. Like, after I had my kids, I knew that I'm like, this isn't my body. But one thing I made a priority, and I say this to every single woman that I know who is gonna get pregnant or wants to get pregnant, is move your body every single day during your pregnancy. Whether that's a 20-minute walk, that's getting on a treadmill for 20 minutes, heading to the gym, move your body every day, because it's gonna help you with your labor. It's gonna help you with your recovery. Being physically active during pregnancy is so important. Because a lot of women will get pregnant, or I shouldn't say a lot, but there are women that will get pregnant and they will stop everything because they might think it's unsafe for the baby, or, you know, they feel sick. I dealt with horrible morning sickness. But I would still make it a priority to get outside, get some fresh air, walk, move my body every day. And so that definitely helped, because I was able to have a quicker recovery. Have you ever heard of a push present before?
Yes, I've heard of a push present.
Most people think of a push present as like diamonds and like jewelry. I asked for a treadmill.
Really? I love
that. So I knew, I knew that being a new mom was not going to be easy. And I knew that it was probably going to be hard for me to get out of the house. And so baby sleep, right? Well, baby sleeps. Mommy's going to go on the treadmill. And that's what I did. And like and at the time we had one of our living rooms it was kind of not being used. So we threw the treadmill in there, and it was great because I was able to put the pack and play, and as she got older, I was able to like, you know, put the jumperoo and like all these, and sometimes I'd be on the treadmill, and I remember I had bought like a 10-pound, I think I had 10-pound weight and like 5-pound weights or something like that. And I would like do a circuit, and she would start crying, and then I'd pick her up and I'd put her in the jumpy thing, and I knew I had 10 minutes. And then I would I was just like, it was like I kind of had this like setup of stations, right? And I was like, I can probably get a 20-minute workout in right now. Or like I would do it while she slept. And that really helped me to get my body back. And so going back to competing, I had done my first show before I got pregnant. And I remember being like, that was cool. Here's the competitiveness in me. I'm like, I could do better. So then I get pregnant, I get married, and then I get pregnant. And then the second I had her, I was like, I'm going to compete again. I'm going to do another show. 6 months post baby, I stepped on stage and I competed.
Wow. You are very
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's amazing though.
And so that made me, I think I placed top 3 in that show. And I was like, but I want to win one. So then I went back and I won our Ontario provincials and went off to compete in Canadian nationals.
Wow.
Qualified for the Arnolds in Columbus, Ohio, and I competed in Columbus, Ohio.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's good for you. That's amazing.
Literally.
What was like the toughest part of competing in such a big show like that?
I think it was knowing what everyone else was doing, because I knew what worked for me, and I had a fast metabolism, and I knew I could, some of these women that were competing were really hardcore. I was not hardcore. I was able to do this because of genetics and because I don't have these crazy flex diets. Like I'm very regimented and my body responds very well to that. But I think it was like, you had oatmeal this morning? I can't believe you would eat that. You can't eat that on your program. And I think it was like, it was kind of the noise of like what was going on with all the other competitors. Like to me, that was like the biggest like, why are they doing that to themselves, right? And then also realizing kind of sometimes like how unhealthy that industry is. And like I've seen women go from competing and then 2 weeks later they've put on 20 pounds because they've gone through massive binge eating because they went through this process in an unhealthy way. So it's kind of.
And how did it feel when like the magazine started reaching out to you and they wanted you to get on there? Like
then that was the next kind of phase of everything. Was I competed, and then one of the magazines got wind that I had just had a baby 6 months ago, and it was like, let's come and do a shoot, and that was with Oxygen magazine, and I shot with them and had a great experience with that publication. And then I looked into other magazines. A lot of people say like, how did you like get discovered? And I'm like, well, you also need to kind of find the work. Like I've always been my own agent as well. Like all the work that I've done with all these other magazines, I look and be like, who are the lead photographers? Okay, I'm going to reach out to them. I'm going to book a shoot with them. I flew to Arizona. I worked with a fitness photographer out there, James Patrick. I can't even tell you how many publications I was in from that photo shoot. And like amazing opportunities came from that. So again, it was when you want something, you're going to find a way to get it. Right? Like you can source these things out. You can look up, and it's sometimes things don't come banging at your door. You got to bang at the door. Right?
I love that. That's like the entrepreneur in you. Like it's like, I'm going to get what I want no matter what.
And I knew I wanted that. I was like, I want to be in publication. I want to be on a cover of a magazine. Like why not? What's stopping me? Is
there anything that's next that you're looking to grab? It seems like whatever you put your mind to, you do.
I think my focus is these gyms right now, but I think that I think my drive and my focus right now is having F45 be the #1 gym in London, Ontario. And
is there only 2 in London? 2. Okay, so you're like the owner of the London F45.
Yeah, she runs them.
I sure do.
That's amazing. And I guess like is it tough to competing against these other gyms that exist out here?
No. And the reason I say that is because there's room for everybody to be successful.
The abundance, like you said.
Absolutely. And if you have a scarcity mindset, then it's not going to work. It's if you're like, this is mine, and there's room for everybody. And I want everybody in the industry to be successful because there's room for it. But you also have to like treat people properly, and you have to really create that community and love on that community that's what's going to keep people there, and be a good person.
Yeah. Was there a point in your life where maybe you did have a scarcity mindset and then like abundance came to you? Like, or
I think anytime you have a scarcity mindset, you go backwards. It's hard to move forward. If I had a scarcity mindset, trust me, that's in these many years of me in different businesses and different things in life, there are things and people that will distract you. And I think for me, it's learning not to let those distractions distract you, because that's what creates a scarcity mindset, is when you see what other people are doing and you compare yourself to others. You can't compare yourself to others. You are you, and that's it. They are that they are them. You are you, and you bring certain things to the table. They bring certain things to the table, and if that person is distracting you, put your blinders on. Yeah, that person's not meant to be in your life. It's not meant to. You just have to kind of eliminate the noise. Yeah. And the second you eliminate that noise, the scarcity goes away. And the abundance starts to flow. The creativity starts to flow. When you eliminate the noise, you can think more clearly. Yeah. Right? There's some people that will literally delete Instagram because it's too much noise, or too much. That's a whole other topic.
Comparing to one.
Yes. Yeah. And like, this is where, I've been on social media for a long time, and I know how to navigate it. And one thing I've really taught my kids is what's real and what's not. Yeah. And because being an influencer, or being someone who has influence, my kids see the behind the scenes. My daughter takes half my videos for me.
That's cute.
That's awesome.
Right? I know. She's in half my videos for me, but like she will do a lot of the behind the scenes, and then be like, she's like, well, you fool people, like, like, because but it will show like the reality. Like I'll have this like beautiful picture on a rock in Greece, and in my bikini, and then like you actually look behind me and there's like 50,000 people on the beach, but you just don't see those people, right? Or like, there's so many times where you do want, like, you want people to see into your life, and I think people see that through stories as I try to show the realness of myself, but there's also this kind of illusion that people are perfect and that life is perfect, and that's not the case. It's just that that's what a lot of people portray on social media, and you need to know that it's not always the case. And like, there are people that live really beautiful, elaborate lives, and we can't be jealous of that. If you want it, go create it.
Yeah,
agreed.
As easy as that, right?
Or if it's triggering you, unfollow it.
Yeah. Don't look at it.
Don't follow that person.
Yeah.
Because it's bugging you, and it's getting in your head, and now it's distracting you from you moving forward to your goals. So social media is a great tool, but it can also be a huge mine.
Yeah, for sure. What would you say is your why? Like, what drives you to do all these amazing things that you're doing?
I don't know. I would say, I don't know. I feel like there's so many reasons. I do it because it fulfills me. Yeah. It feels good in my heart. Yeah. Do it for my kids so that they're proud. And now I feel like I have another why, and that's my community. The communities of the gym, my online community. So there's so many reasons. Yeah. There's so many reasons.
Yeah, it's tough to narrow point to one, but like those reasons are like great. You know what I mean? I love what you said, your community. Right? It's like you feel like that responsibility to lead like people.
I do. I feel a tremendous responsibility now.
Yeah. Something to be impactful to everybody by the end.
Yeah. I feel like leadership is always something that's always intrigued me, and it was funny because I never really looked at myself as a leader before. Even going back to when I used to play high school sports, I said I was athletic. I never said I was a good athlete. Okay. I remember playing high school basketball. I was the worst basketball player, guys. Like, worst. But I was so excited to be on that team. I loved being on the bench. Like, I was the biggest bench cheerleader you'll ever meet. And like, I was like getting people water bottles like that. and I knew, like, like, I didn't know it then.
Yeah.
But you look back and you're like, I'm a team player.
Yeah.
I want a team to thrive. And I think that, looking back at that, I think I was meant for like a role of leadership and a role of like being a team leader.
Yeah.
The team captain.
Yeah.
The bench bench warmer. I was the bench warmer. Yeah.
No, but it's funny because like even the bench warmer has the most important role. Like we think about these teams like in the NBA, the WNBA, the NHL. Like it's like you have a comedian on the team, you have someone who like keeps the morale up, you have someone on the bench, you have obviously the captain. But without one of those people, the puzzle isn't complete.
Yeah. Oh, I was just so excited to be on the team.
Waving the flag.
I think the coach was like, he knew it. Like, you're never gonna play because you suck. But the best thing too is like when I look back, that basketball coach was a huge life mentor to me as well.
Yeah.
So being on those teams, even though you're not at my skill level, never improved. Yeah. I was mentored by and coached by some incredible people who like inspired me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And do you still have mentors or coach right now or some people you look up to?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. And they're a part of my life, and you get together. Like I saw one of them not that long ago. He was a high school teacher, an elementary school teacher. Taught me basketball. Yeah. He was my basketball coach,
cool.
And still a part of our life.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's important to always have a mentor, like in your life, no matter what stage you're at, or?
I think it's always good to have somebody to look up to or to get advice from. And sometimes that might not necessarily be someone you know personally. Maybe it's a podcast, or maybe it's someone who provides you with value for what you're doing.
Yeah.
That could be someone who's in like that mentorship role too. Having someone that's older or a team coach, even in your relationship. Like for me, I would never say my husband's my mentor, but he's a huge supporter. Yeah. And when I'm feeling down or if I'm feeling like defeated, he's the first person I go to, and we talk, and that communication is there. And so having healthy relationships in your life are so important. I have a good core group of friends, and I have a really healthy relationship and a relationship with my kids. And I think that all plays a part in my success and the things that I'm doing, the things I thrive for, because that part of my life is very healthy.
Yeah.
Because that's what I wanted, and that's what we created. We create that.
Yeah, and I could relate to that. Like I recently got married like 8 months ago, and so then we started incorporating the date nights, like what you said you do, and like it's just like it's actually super valuable to like take that time to work 100%. On that relationship, because we can get lost in work, we can get lost in like all the stuff that we're doing, but like it's those relationships that like when you're really down are keeping you up. You know what I mean? You
need that person.
Yeah.
And that's where it's like that relationship, you got to cherish it. There's going to be ups and downs. Like my husband and I have been married for going on 18 years now, but we communicate, and we don't go to bed angry at each other. Like it's just, we have that respect for each other, and it's not always easy, but it becomes easier when there's the mutual respect for each other.
100%.
And that takes time, and as kids come into play, it throws more challenges at you, but you always have to know. I always look at it as like the husband and wife, you are the foundation. And then the kids, nothing is solid in your family unless the husband and wife are solid. Yeah. So it was always like, we are the foundation of this family, and it's important for us. And so we've always done trips. We've always gone away, the two of us. We've always had like make nights for ourselves. And sometimes that might be just going down to Elora Mill, or, heading out, like going to Toronto for a night stay.
Yeah.
Getting out of London sometimes, just changing scenery.
Yep.
Right?
For sure. Yeah. And would the person who you were as a child be proud of who you are today?
Absolutely.
I love that.
Absolutely. That cheerleader on the bench would be like, you go, girl. Like, she'd be so happy for me. But I don't know if she knew that I was capable
of being the person you are now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were your inspirations like back then, like when you were younger? Like what did you think you would be doing, I guess?
I don't know. I really don't know. I feel like a lot of my growth came from meeting my husband.
Yeah.
He's very outgoing and he's really been the one to teach me that I can do anything.
Yeah.
Not that my parents didn't. Like I said, my parents worked 9-to-5 job and are wonderful people and were like created a very loving home, but never really the conversation of like, what are you going to do to go to school? Like it wasn't like a priority. Like I don't want to say it wasn't a priority, but it wasn't like this thing that we really spoke about. We never talked about universities.
Yeah.
You know, when I said I'm going to college to become a dental assistant, they're like, okay.
Yeah.
Go take out OSAP. So it was like, you know, they were supportive, but I because of their background and like their education, like my dad went to university when he was in his 30s. He wanted to get a history degree. And so I kind of like thought of like university as like people that were like in their 40s.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it wasn't like, to me, it never was like a possibility for me.
Yeah.
And so I don't think I ever overly like dreamed really big when I was a kid. I didn't have these big dreams of what I was going to do or really be. But as I got older, that starts unfolding and you really start to pull back the layers of who you are and what you're capable of. And I think the people you surround yourself with, right?
100%.
I have
a big one.
Yeah, I have a group of girls and only one of them lives in London now. There was 4 of us, and we would get together every month, and we had a dinner group, and we called ourselves Love and Lemons.
Love it.
Love and Lemons. And our dinner group would get together once a month, and someone would host, and whoever hosted picked the theme. And then that theme, then this person would bring a dinner, this person would bring the appetizer, this person would bring the salad. But we would come together and there would be a theme, and there would be you'd have to share something with the group. You'd have to talk about your goals. And the 4 of us, when you look at us now, where our success has come but we did it together. That little dinner group was this like secret sauce that we had, because we had each other. We had this friendship. We had this really cool thing. And I actually wanted to, right before I started doTERRA, I actually had this vision of like creating this book and calling it the Love and Lemons Cookbook.
That's cool.
Because it was all the recipes. We actually shared the recipes with each other. So this was like a year's worth of recipes and get-togethers and themes. And I'm like, we're on to something, guys. Like this is because it's for people who don't have a community. They have friends, but like those friends, they help to mold and shape you. Yeah. And luckily these girls, they were like-minded, highly driven. And when you look at us when we started this group to where we are now in our lives, it is powerful. Yeah. Yeah. And there was power with us growing together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And having these deep conversations and like tears and laughter, and that is powerful.
Yeah.
Having that.
Yeah, like brick by brick, like every dinner session, you guys didn't know it at the time, but you guys were building, talking about your goals. Like that's special. Like you have a group to like not feel like you're bragging when you win. You know,
you can think of your goals, and like as the new year hits, you can create goals and you can maybe write them down. But when you say your goal and you say what you're going to do, there's power behind that. And when you tell someone, and now that person is like, shit, I gotta actually follow through on this.
Yeah.
Because now, like, if I don't do my goal, if I'm not going to hit that, maybe I failed at it.
Yeah.
Then there's going to be goals that you're not going to hit right away, or goals that might change and say like, because I wanted to create the Love and Lemons Cookbook. It never happened. It was a great idea, but it was just, so it wasn't overly like a priority of a goal, but that Love and Lemons group forever changed my life.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think the book will ever come out?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it has to. I feel like at some point, like that might be like, when I'm retired and, I'm on the beach in Greece, maybe that book will come together.
Yeah. Another vacation.
Yeah. When I'm living in Greece for half the year. Yeah.
Awesome. And any like events up and coming for F45 here in London? Like, are there any bigger things that are happening in the near future?
Yeah. We've got our grand reopening happening at the Masonville location, February 3rd. We have our next challenge kicking off February 5th for both locations. And just really we've got some really cool corporate programs that we're going to be rolling out, and we're right across from the university.
Yeah.
And so we really want to, talk to students and get into the university and get students into F45. So yeah, we've got some big things coming, but again, it's kind of like one of those things, like it's day by day, and you kind of like, okay, so this is going to be the focus this month, and then we're going to roll into next month, and this is going to be the focus. So we're kind of looking at, we usually kind of plan out the calendar about 3 months in advance.
Yeah.
So we're kind of looking now into like March of how things are looking. And then come March, we'll kind of look into, okay, now we're getting ready for summer.
Yeah.
Now we kind of capitalize on, people are wanting to get summer ready. Yeah. They got to get ready for the cottage and trips and the beach and all the bathing suits. Yeah. And then we go into, then you go into summer and you go into fall. So like you just got to think ahead and just plan ahead and be prepared.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What would you say is the toughest thing about scaling?
I think patience. Like you just have to be patient, right? Like it's not going to grow overnight. You have to trust the process and know that when you're putting in the work, there is going to be growth. And it might be small, but that small growth every day becomes exponential.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It compounds.
100%.
Yeah. No, that's true. Patience, man.
Yeah. No.
Even with this podcast, it's been about a couple of years, and we're still sitting here patient.
It'll pay off.
Patience. Yes. Yeah. 100%.
That's amazing. And is there anything else, I guess, you would like to like promote or let our audience know about F45 or what's going on?
I mean, come and get your 7-day trial. I mean, you just got to get in the studio, and you can't be afraid. And I think that's one thing that a lot of people will say to me is like, oh my gosh, it looks so scary. I'm like, scary? I'm like, it's so fun. Yeah. Like moving your body it's so necessary. And it's a privilege. It's a privilege to move your body every single day. Yeah. And so I think if you kind of are in the mindset of moving your body every single day is a privilege. Like I'm really fascinated right now on longevity and living a longer life, but a healthy life. Yeah. If I'm going to live to 100, I want to live to 100 and be healthy.
Yeah. And be walking or something.
I don't want to live to 100, but when I hit 80, I get sick with diseases and I can't move my body. Yeah. I don't want that. I don't want to be sick for 20 years. I want to be sick. I don't want to be sick at all. I want to live a long, healthy life. Yeah. And so when you look at longevity, I'm super fascinated by the blue zones. Yeah. Very fascinated by blue zones.
Italy has one. Japan has one, right? Like
Greece.
Greece too.
Yes.
Mediterranean
diet. Yep. Wow. So there's certain things when you look at like the blue zones and you look at longevity, like that fascinates me. Yeah. And when I think about those things and how I can implement them into our community and how I can how do we make London a blue zone?
Yeah.
I love
That'd be sick.
How can we make London a blue zone?
No, it's smart.
It's my mission.
Yeah.
There you go. There's my next.
That's your next goal, right?
There it is. You just wait, people.
Yeah.
So I'm super fascinated by those things, and I'm always wanting to learn and to grow, and anything that I can provide value for my community or for my audience, I'm always happy to share. So yeah, I just think that.
How do you keep up to date with the new trends and the new research with like fitness and health and?
I listen to podcasts. I stay up to date with social media. Yeah. Social media doesn't trigger me. I find the time to go on there. I know how to create space for it, and I also know how to shut it down when I don't need it. I'm not someone that watches the news or reads the paper or anything like that, but I consume what I need to. And my husband's a news kind of follower, so he'll kind of fill me in on the things he needs to. But I'm always kind of just, and then you got your people that you follow that provide you that information as well. So yeah,
we're very lucky actually to be living in this time, right? Where you can, from the most professional in every profession, they have a social media and they'll teach you for free. Yeah, literally. Right? So it's I'm surprised.
We have so many things at our fingertips, right? Like when you look at when I look at my parents and kind of going back to that conversation of it's just that the information, it wasn't there. Yeah. Right. You think about the amount of knowledge that we have and the amount of resources we have at our fingertips. So we literally pull our phone out and we can access anything. Yep. We didn't have that. Well, I didn't have that when I was younger. And my parents never had that.
Well,
So like
earlier mentioned, you've learned from like a workout book versus like just going on the internet and finding the information,
my
right?
book, I gotta find my book. It was one of those things, like the book was at the gym bag, and like the water bottle had probably opened so many times. Like the book was like water, like damaged. But the book was so good. I can't even remember the book that it was, but there was the book. It helped me train for a couple of my shows. Yeah, it was my personal trainer in the book.
What are some essentials you have in your gym bag?
The essentials
that you need in your gym bag, that you don't go to the gym without them.
Oh my gosh. I really don't even bring a gym bag to the gym because literally F45 is 45 minutes. Yeah. So it's like I don't need to shower there. I bring my water bottle and my running shoes. Yeah. And that's it.
It's convenient.
That's all I need. It's all I need. Yeah. Like, it's just convenient. Yeah. I don't need to bring all the stuff that we used to bring. Yeah. It's all F45 provides it. Just show up. You just need to show up.
I love that. I love that. And like I said, based on my experience, I really did enjoy my time at F45. And I should be going more often. I would love to, we are going to get
you back.
Yeah. We'll go because
we'll do a workout together.
Let's do it.
Okay. All right. Let's do it.
We could even vlog it on our vlog, on the Nüvida, because we have some vlog segments with some of our guests, and then we can do a workout together.
All right. You guys should come to our grand reopening.
February 3rd?
February 3rd.
Down?
I'm down.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like she's gonna make us just like tired. The cardio day. It's gonna be
a killer workout. I'm telling you. But it's like, it's just fun. It's we're actually on February 3rd. We have a DJ coming in. Okay. So he'll be DJing all the classes.
Awesome.
And that's just such a vibe. And that's the thing with that 45. It is a vibe. Like you walk in there and people are excited to be there. Then it's so much fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, you'll definitely see us there. And thank you so much, Meaghan, for taking the time to sit with us here today. And anything else you'd like to get off your chest before we wrap it up here?
Plugs, anything?
Well, I just want to say thank you guys. This has been fun.
No, it was amazing. Honestly.
And it's fun to like share, and sometimes you don't really think and reflect on what you've done, in your life. And it's kind of fun to be like, wow, yeah, I have done a lot of things, or being able to kind of share my story. So
awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, of course.
Yeah,
and
creating
for taking
that
the time to come on that show.
Yeah.
And we hope to have you back in the future.
Oh, yeah,
absolutely.
Once the 3rd gym comes, the 4th gym.
Just taking over Canada, when Mark Wahlberg comes to my studio,
Yeah, exactly.
You guys are going to want to be there.
Oh, 100%. Oh, yeah. We'll be there.
Which he will be coming, because that's just my mindset on this.
Yeah, no. She makes it happen, so.
Absolutely. So, I would just encourage people to come try it out. I mean, it is a life-changing workout, and everyone's welcome. Open arms.
Awesome. Thank you. And thank you for everyone who stayed tuned and listened to the whole episode, and we'll catch you next episode. Peace.